Heyo, and welcome to OmniDog's Vault. I'm OmniDog. Thanks for tuning in to this kind of last-minute show that we decided to do. I am OmniDog, joined by Webhead. How are you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excitedly looking at your goon collection back there, which we'll talk about in a second. But Webhead is the brains behind comicreleases.com, which is an amazing resource to find out pretty much up to the minute, except that they're constantly moving things on you.
Maybe not to the minute, but as close as I can reasonably get it. I did have one where I was like, I did a bunch last night, and then someone in our Discord was like, hey, some stuff changed. I'm like, I just looked at this.
So we do the collected editions show for my channel, and which we will be doing in a little bit after this and putting up on Monday probably. But people have wanted to talk to Webhead about his site and things that go on the site, and possibly expanding what he covers to certain things. So here's your chance to ask Webhead about comicreleases.com, which I think is the best. It's certainly the best site I've been to tell about. It's mostly hard. You don't have any trades in there. It's mostly hardcovers, right?
Yeah, mostly I was trying to stick to collected editions. Over time, I kind of improve my tools, so it's going to get easier to expand as the level of manual work required goes down. Because I know people have asked about like a couple of the different companies, like, can you start covering these guys or whatever. And a lot of them, I'll probably try to expand out, especially because there's companies where they only put out like a couple collected editions here and there,
Mm-hmm.
So
I know, I don't know if Crashline's here right now, but Crashline is one of the major. He was the impetus for the show. He's a major force behind the show. They had several people, but first of all, Crashline was wanting to see and talk to you. And here's Travis Gilmer, who says there's a manga called Crazy Food Truck. How can you not be excited with that title? Okay, here's me about that title. There you go.
Well, you gotta hate Jess.
And it's 3 a.m. in Finland. Johnny, you're still up? Thanks for watching.
I'm looking at the covers of this, and it reminds me of like One Piece / a food truck.
Oh, you have the food truck up?
Yeah.
Oh, here's Moon Knight guy, Mark Spector, Jake Lockley. Good evening. Only 2 a.m. here, so compared to Johnny, it's still early evening. Right. Let's see. Marcelo almost missed it because of the time difference. Okay, good to have you. And I'm not a hater. I just reacted to it. I'm glad you're excited. Travis, I know you well. I'm just totally teasing you. We have supposedly 5. No, actually, there's no limit because in the title I said books we're excited for. So we could have done 12 each.
We probably could have. Just be like, I'm just excited for everything.
Yeah. We're actually, as I went down, where did I didn't get as far as August because I found like 5 right away between now and August. How far out does comic releases go right now?
Right now we're out to, looks like technically November because the Phantom Stranger omnibus got moved.
Okay. So you do have Phantom Stranger listed.
If I can find it, I will put it down.
Okay.
If Omar announces it, I usually give him a day or two at least. Also, sometimes I'm just lazy, so maybe he gets a week or 2. But I'll add those 2 before they're solicited because I know they're coming.
Let me go way into November then and grab a pic of.
That's the only one from
Phantom Strangers, the last one. It's the very last book. Okay. Ooh, Grizzly. This got
We
pushed.
also have Avengers by Hickman at the end. That's in
I didn't
October.
see that. Let's see. Oh, Avengers by Hickman, Volume 1 new printing. The World of Black Hammer Library Edition, Volume 4. Madman Library Edition, Volume 3. Okay. Well, now we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but World of Black Hammer needs to end at some point. I love it, but I can't. I don't have room anymore for all these gigantic library-sized thingies. It's going crazy here. So I need that
I
series
don't have
to
room
stop.
for anything, and I just keep buying them anyway. Apparently, so
Yeah, the problem is it's really good, and so I'm just going to keep. That's what I'm just going to keep getting them. But I mean, it's an awful lot. Here's a dude that's talking my name. You are right in line with me, Joshua. I'm excited for Silver Age Batman Volume 1. Okay. Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane. Oh, before the end of the year? I think you mean your lifetime. That and Jimmy Olsen are my two most wanted Omnis that appeal to about 5 of us. And that and Sugar and Spike. I really
we're there in the old folks'
those.
home.
Let me try unplugging my mic.
Also,
how's that now?
That seems better. Yeah.
Seems better?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, since I'm unplugged, Grandpa forgot to take his meds. And they're pain meds. So I got to go
live.
Yeah, we're going to take them live right now because I just realized that I meant to take them.
So to respond to Craze Kazuari,
yeah,
Phantom Stranger wasn't canceled. It was one of 3 books that got moved farther out. So they canceled the solicit, and then they moved it.
Yeah,
so it'll get resolicited, and it's supposed to come out in November, and it's $125. Also, Tyler, I'm watching you.
Okay, so I'm up here taking my meds. Hey. It's live on the air, sweetie. Yeah.
Yeah, World of Black Hammer 4. I think that's one. It hasn't been solicited. I think we just spied that on the on the PRH site. So what'll happen a lot of times is you'll see me put books up that haven't actually been solicited yet because Penguin gets them early on their site.
Ah, okay. Have to navigate the stairs. And then I'm back. Yeah, I'm not going to fall, sweetie.
They want you to bring back your special cereal bowl.
Bring back your special. Oh, darn it. It's upstairs. I went through all my cereal boxes that I've been collecting for 30 years. And in them were a bunch of worthless boxes, but then a ton of really cool toys and some cereal boxes. Yeah, the Johnny has in Finland. He has some Kellogg cereal bowls, and I found the ones that I had. And I can tell that my daughter used them. They've been used, so she used them as a wee tyke, but they're yeah, James, don't worry, that's just a bot. Just nobody click on it.
I think my mom gave me back. I had way back in the 90s. If you bought, I think there was like a Ninja Turtle cereal, and it came with a bowl, like a Ninja Turtles bowl.
Ooh.
My mom gave me back a couple of those. I have them somewhere. I don't remember where, but those are pretty cool.
We need those OmniDog memes to become OmniDog NFTs. Jess can make millions.
Get out.
We have been in the Omni Bros chat. We're all trying to wrap our head around NFTs, and these are young people all the way up to me. And none of us can figure out that it's anything but a scam. I don't want to turn this into the NFT show, but I get the concept, but I can't imagine why I'd want to invest in anything that's non-fungible tangent or whatever the T is for, token or something. That's just not me. I'd rather take the money and go buy a Silver Age key or a Bronze Age key or something, rather than spend $1,000 on somebody's made up picture. That seems weird.
It's like a weird sort of artificial scarcity.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Dofi, if I have time at the end, I'd be happy to do that. People have seen it a lot already, but I'll give you a tour if you'd like.
Do you ever do an actual video?
Sorry?
Or do you just do it? Do you do it on the live streams usually when you show people, or have you done an actual video?
I did a video tour of everything back in 2017.
Oh, we're way out of date now.
Oh yeah, I'm way out of date, and
you got to go do an official video tour.
I know Taylor Brown is always telling me that I need to do that, because he's like, dude, room tour videos get tons of views, and everybody wants to know what your setup looks like now.
I'll live vicariously through you.
Yeah. And you can go on there. You can go in my library and see. I have several different statue videos where I take you on a tour of my statues and my bombshells and things like that. One problem I have is that it was a good suggestion by Nman40 was that I use my Kallax to double file my books.
Yep, I have to do that.
I have a Kallax where half the books are hidden.
Yeah.
So
there's times where you're like, where is that book? Is it behind another book?
That's me every day. Fortunately, I took pictures of everything behind and put them in my notes. So I know what's in every cube, but I don't really know how to present that to people.
That would be a bit difficult, yeah.
Yeah, so...
Like, I've done shelfies, too, and it's like, okay, well, that's what's out, and then there's all of that much more behind.
Uh-oh. Artist formerly known as Jesse Say What. The people have spoken. We need a new room tour video. All right. I'll work on it, but I've got to figure out how to show those books that are behind. Or maybe
hey, Crashland's here.
Sorry. Oh yeah. This is it. This show's dedicated to Crashline. Can't say I'm not open to viewer suggestions. I am. Crashline especially wanted to see you tonight, so yeah, this is one I'm excited about too. The only reason I didn't choose it, can't call me Tom, was because it keeps getting moved so often. I don't believe it's going to come out. I want to get closer to that actual release date, and then I'm going to get excited.
Is that last call one? Is that the volume 2?
Uh-oh. Looks like you have somebody throwing shade at you.
Shush. They're not under my bed, they're in my closet.
Well.
Yeah, there's a few people from the Discord chat in here too.
Well, if they don't deserve the front row, they should be purged. You might be right about some of those, but that is true. Some things I'm like the first things I want to read are in the front, and then the things I'm going to get to are in the back. So you might be right. I may need to.
I often put things I've already read in the back.
Well, I don't really read at all. Everything I say is a lie. No, I'm just kidding.
My whole life is a lie.
My whole life is a lie. So I'm going to... Whoa, Crashline. Thanks, buddy. Here's a $10 super chat, which after YouTube gets done with it, I will send you your 50 cents, Chris. He says, thank you so very much for doing this. I really appreciate it. I would love to know if you would track Aftershock comics on your site, since they do.
Did see you had mentioned that.
Thanks again for being here, Chris. Glad you pulled this together. Jess, you're welcome.
I think I could probably add them on. They don't have a whole ton of stuff. There's going to be, I kind of said that at the beginning, there's a lot of companies that just put out a few books I've been making tools for myself for the website to make things a little easier. So now I'm kind of in a position where, yeah, I might venture out and start adding some more companies in. I'm probably not going to do solicits for everyone because a lot of companies, their solicits are like 4 or 5 things. Like I used to do Valiant, and it's like they put out 2 books a month.
Yeah.
But I think at the very least, though, I would add them into the database. So
Look
I'm
at
going to
that,
start
Crashline. You
doing
asked,
that just
and
for you.
whoa, Crashline, just for you. They got more than Valiant these days. I just really love them. I don't disagree with them at all. I think that Valiant. I mean, I love a lot of the Aftershock hardcovers. They do have sort of a problem with conformity, even within the same series, but they are very nicely made, and there's a lot of stuff. Death
I know
Rattle.
people have asked about Titan before as well.
Oh, Titan. Uh-huh.
I might try and get that in there. TKO. Some of them don't go through Diamond, so as I'm like, oh yeah, I'll try and do that. I'll have to figure out where.
Yeah. I saw a Valiant book. I think I saw Rye in there or something. Let me go to where I had the comic release pages. I feel like Rye was coming out maybe in February. We're doing
Death
that.
Route, are you talking about the Valiant solicits, or just because I still put the books in the database when they have hardcovers?
We're not talking just February here, the collector. We're talking about the books we're most excited for in
Pretty
2022
much for the rest of the year. Yeah.
for the rest of the year. The February one's going to be put up on Monday. I've never heard of Valiant. What is it?
That company's complicated.
They put out books. They put out books. Their company.
Kind of. They put out a few.
They put
They
out
had their heyday back in the
the
what, like
90s.
well, I would say that people are collecting that stuff they put out in like the 2010s, in that little era where they started redoing stuff.
Oh, I don't think I even paid attention to that.
A lot of people collect that. Like if you follow JP from OPB, one of the people in our Discord sold him his whole Valiant set, and he was all excited and made a video. And
I have a bunch of
they
Valiant
have these
books.
really nice deluxe collections they put
Yeah.
out for stuff from like the late 2000s or in early 2010s for the series that they were doing then. So like you had the stuff they did in the 90s, and then they kind of relaunched everything. And
Okay, that's what I have a whole hardcover collection of them.
Right, that stuff. That stuff people are pretty excited about.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Valiant put out like Archer and Armstrong and Rye and Bloodshot.
Bloodshot would probably be the most recognizable one since it just got a movie. Although I heard it wasn't very good.
Right. Bloodshot. I can't look in there. Faith is another new character that they've made books about. The Exo Man of War. Yeah, that's a good book. Exo Man of War is really good.
I've been wanting to dip my toes in, but I'll probably read that stuff digital because those hardcovers are it's a nightmare trying to track them all down.
I'm not sure. It has a new publisher, I think, so I don't know that
they have new owners who don't seem quite as interested in the actual comics anymore, which is kind of a bummer. Their output has been really sad. I'm serious when I say they put out 1 or 2 singles a month. Like I've been doing those Valiant. I did those Valiant solicits for a long time, and I was like, man, come on, guys.
Dofi, you're gonna have to read these digitally because, as Michael Frey says, 2012, 2018 are the golden years. Here's Crashline has some. These are all good books. Harbinger and Harbinger Wars seems to be the sort of thing they the Harbinger Wars seems to be the one of the binding things that run through all of them. But what's the other one that involves? There's a couple of them. Dr. Mirage. Dr. Mirage can be read by itself, and it's awesome. You don't need to know anything about anything. But Dr. Mirage is one of my favorite books from there, and that's not constrained by any running theme through any of the books. Archer and Armstrong, I haven't read yet. I love the old Archer and Armstrong. Oh, Dr. Mirage was great. It's also super cheap on IST. Boom. There you go. You should get these other ones are all out of print. Dr. Mirage is awesome. You should definitely get it.
Looks like they have that first hardcover.
That's a great
55% off.
That's great.
Not bad.
I haven't read Shadow Man, but I love Exo, Man of War, and Bloodshot. Harbinger, I read the first couple of Harbingers, and then Harbinger Wars. I tried to do a read through with the Omni Bros back in like 2018, and it sort of I got everything that I could, and then it just sort of petered out. So I never finished reading them. Oh, and Quantum and Woody's supposed to be really good too. So I definitely want to read that. What is the first? Whoops. I'm in charge of this. Okay. I forgot. I was going to say, show us what you're talking about.
Us.
Okay. So this first one's actually going to be one of my first share screen window. Okay, there we go. This is my first thing that I'm excited about, and that's New Mutants Volume 2. I think that's coming out in February. Is that or this week?
15th.
I beg your pardon?
February 15th.
Good. I burned through this the first Omni of New Mutants. I just closed myself off to the world, and I got lost in this book. I'm pretty sure it's the first major Chris Claremont thing. I've read, a little bits of Chris Claremont here and there. I haven't read his X-Men, any of it. I've read a lot of X-Men around it, but I'm still putting off for some reason reading it all. But New Mutants, the first New Mutants was written by him, and it was great. I loved all of it, and I just feel really compelled by these young mutants sort of stories. So this is the first book that I'm way interested in is New Mutants Volume 2. I'm trying to read nothing but Marvel this month, so I'll be free to read whatever I want. Oh, I need to turn off my name because it's beeping. Taylor and I are doing a nothing but Marvel for the month of January, and he said I cheated on him because I had to read a couple things that were non-Marvel for OmniCat earlier today. But this is the first thing that Marvel book that I want to read in February. I am excited about this one.
Also, I will note this cover comes out February 15th. The other cover comes out March 1st, the DM variant.
Okay, that's good to know.
Marvel likes to do that lately.
And Man 40 says he's getting the Barry Windsor Smith standard cover.
I'm trying to remember which one I got. They're both pretty cool covers.
I didn't see. This is what I grabbed from probably Amazon. So
that's the standard cover.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember which one I pre-ordered. I like this cover.
I like them both. I got the variant.
Okay.
Art Adams variant.
Oh, Art Adams variant. What's the B? Oh, is this the BWS standard cover?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. I it didn't look like Barry Windsor Smith to me, but I've never seen him draw.
It's kind of weird stuff to draw.
Yeah. Okay. He's got that looks like a warlock gone crazy on it. So with a lot of scritchy lines. So
Yeah.
anyway, this is the first book I'm excited about. Let's see. Someone else, Crashland's also getting Howard the Duck, which got moved to next month. Crashland. Spoiler alert, it's in March now. Actually, it's still January, so it got moved not to next month, but the following month. The thing I liked most about New Mutants was that they were also fresh. This was really hitting big when I was just a kid. It felt like it was made for me. Good point. Is Claremont's era the best? I haven't read it, but that's what everybody seems to think. You're not going to find me saying no to that question. That'll get me canceled off of YouTube. So I think everybody is a big fan of Claremont's era. Yeah, what is the deal with DM variants coming out 2 weeks later? Just, do you know when you will be getting, or will it be like your jail dart? No, it got pre-ordered, so if it comes out in February, I'm getting it in February, March, April. I do have, James, a 60-pound box outside my door that I'm going to do a video this week and unbox it and have a Q&A once we get into wait, when did I do that one? No, next week I'm going to do it. It's 60 pounds. I could barely get it downstairs. I don't know why they do that. I can't imagine my FedEx guy was happy at all. He must have been super.
Dude, there's been some boxes that I swear to God, I had an order or two where they had to put them in 2 boxes.
Well, wouldn't you think that they do that? That's it. That was 60 pounds. I barely got it in the house and down the stairs.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
Yeah, because it's not like 60 pounds on a barbell that you can just go, It's 60 pounds in a cube that
it's in a, I mean, by the time you get it, it's in an atomized cardboard box, because the thing's going to be paper thin from smashing around.
Well,
it's
I'm
60
hoping
pounds.
My 50-pound box, everything was in good shape for, so I'm hoping that everything's in good shape on this one. Yeah, thanks for the tip on Howard the Duck. This is why I watch you guys. Peace and love. Peace and love. Omnis I need are Teen Titans, Justice League Dark, good choice. Howard the Duck, good choice. Jason Aaron's Run on Thor, good choice. And Venom by Donny Cates, also a good choice. I have a dolly, but the issue,
or maybe a wheelbarrow.
That's the issue. The issue is getting it in while a certain someone doesn't know it's coming in and it gets moved downstairs.
In the dead of night.
Yeah, or when she's in the shower or something. But really fast down the stairs, and that thing, just moving it from one spot to the other in my basement was backbreaking. So it's not like I can just la-di-da go get a dolly. I mean, I'm evil that way. I'm evil, mysterious, and sinister. So if it was a normal household, yes, but it's not. Let's see. I am in the minority, but I would prefer if Bill Sienkiewicz didn't completely change the look and feel of the New Mutants. I prefer the classic Marvel style. I think that's fine. You are. I'm happy for you. Whatever you like. There's something for everybody. I pre-ordered them from DCBS, which is stopping now, and I'm just going to order them from OPB or In Stock Trades or CGN or any place not named DCBS, because they take 2 months to get my books to me. OPB, I've ordered books from them before. Boom, they're here. IST, boom, they're here. I just got a box from IST this today that I just ordered last week. So you might as well just get them from IST or OPB, someplace like that. Don't pre-order them. There's no reason to pre-order anymore. Half price doesn't equal the joy of getting a book when it comes out. Like, I still haven't got Nightwing in my possession yet.
It kind of sucks waiting a month, but I have so many books I don't even care.
Well, I totally with you on that I have a huge backlog. Oh, okay. Well, I put in links for Amazon if you want.
You can order with hopes and dreams that it'll come to you.
I think that the better idea would be, where do you live, Dofi? Maybe that's important. Where do you live? Rick, make the delivery instructions to Just Brag, right basement window. That would actually be perfect.
just
right
just
there.
Set up like a slide, a chute.
Yeah, exactly. Mark Spector, I have a question about this too, because I haven't read it yet. Animal Castle, was about to buy it in Swedish when I saw Ablaze started releasing it in singles. Hopefully they collect it in hardcover later this year. Whenever it looks awesome, in my opinion. I have only seen it, just the singles. I don't know anything about it. So
there's supposedly a hardcover coming.
Oh, already?
Looks like it. In July.
Doffy, I'm going to do you a huge favor here. You should check into organic price books or in stock trades, and your books will not only get to you in one piece with no dents, but at like 30% off. So I don't take any money from IST for this broadcast. I do for OmniBros. That's separate. But for this broadcast, I can say whatever I want. Yeah, IST, OPB, CGN, Partridge in a Pear Tree, whatever. Yeah, I think they're all caught up to Collector, because I just got a big box from them of stuff that I just ordered. I just got.
Well, they're going to, because they're about to do a move. Things are probably going to be real chaotic during the move.
I think this must have been right before they moved.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if they actually officially started. I think they were starting soon.
This was a 2 week ago order, and I actually got it today.
Nice.
So this is a big deal because this has the extra issue in it, the annual, that the previous one, the trade paperback, did not. So this is a reason to, let me stop sharing for a second. This is a reason to get this book, is that it contains the annual, and it's awesome. One of my books of the year when it came out, I think 2020.
I might just read that one right away.
I already read it, and I'm happy to reread this. I'll reread it tonight. I love this book.
And yeah, so that Animal Castle book is in fact getting a hardcover. Oh, I found it on previews, and I found it on Edelweiss. Preview says July 27th.
Issues out so far.
Yeah, the contents aren't listed, so I don't know what's in it. Oh, collecting issues 1 through 5. There you
go. I don't know where I would go to see the answer to this, to Collector. What? On
Amazon.
What's going on with Mouse?
Some school district banned it.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah. So it's like mega ultra back ordered now because everyone went on Amazon, including me, and bought a copy. I was like, honestly, I knew that this was going to happen, so I bought one real quick.
I've got my copy from years ago, and I also have it serialized in Raw. I have the original Raw comics.
Yeah, I had my eye on it, and I figured, well, I better grab it now before the hordes come and snap it up.
So they have, apparently, huh?
Oh, yes.
Well, that's good. I hope people get it and read it, because it's one of those books that...
It seems very depressing, but
Oh, it is. Oh, it's about the Holocaust. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's awful, but it's
not really a happy ending there.
no, it's an important. It's one of those books that are just super important. So let's see. Let me answer this question, and then I will. Jess's Dan Slott Spider-Man, good for Spider-Man fans such as me. I think that if you start with, I haven't read the whole thing.
I have read all the way up until Secret Wars. I thought all that was great.
Okay, so you can answer this question then. Go for it.
No, I haven't read after Secret Wars, and I know it changes a bit after that, but I'd say
But you started with Big Time?
Big Time
Okay.
is great. And like I like Spider Island, and honestly I liked all that stuff. Into the Spider-Verse, or the Spider-Verse event was all fun. There's just a lot of cool stuff. I liked what he did with the character because he kind of, I don't want to spoil too much, but he lets Peter Parker like have a life, like a real one, instead of kind of being forced to constantly just be like a down on his luck teenager forever.
What when did Superior Spider-Man come out? After Secret Wars?
Before.
Before
That's all
Secret
before.
Wars. Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah.
that's like in the middle of what I read, and that was fantastic. And it's like that it was going to be temporary, so you kind of just enjoy the ride.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot.
Right. I don't know. Oh, okay. That's for Mouse. It's March.
Wow.
Hey, Chris. I wanted to thank you for sorting your site the way you do. The OHC and SHC and Omnibus sort is so freaking useful.
Well, thank you. I like when people notice that I do stuff.
It's a big love affair tonight, a big love fest for you.
I will say there's a lot of weird size books, so you'll notice some of them I just put custom because I was like, I don't even know.
Rick says, I don't think it is as well regarded as Superior Spider-Man, but I enjoyed the Spider-Man Worldwide stuff.
And that's the stuff after Secret Wars.
Okay.
So Worldwide is where people don't like it as much. I still, I'm still going to read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Crashlane's just all over you. This is for you. You answer this.
Historical master lists. Like after the books come out, there's an archive page on my site. So from the time I started doing this to now, all the books that have been on the site are on the archive page. I do that so that I can keep the normal page loading quickly because it won't have 1,000 books on it. But yeah, books that have been in the database stay there forever. And they're on the archive page.
There's a great question. Why are you doing this? Huge job.
Yeah, the thing I was always like, I couldn't believe something like this didn't already exist. And I know that like we're all kind of doing this we've all got our little spreadsheets of this comes out on this day, and everyone's already tracking it anyway, right? Most of us are sitting there making our own lists. So I was like, well, why don't I just make it into a website? It's not that difficult. And people liked it, so I kept doing it. And then, I make a little money off of it. My goal really was get enough money to cover my server bill.
Right. That's my goal with this channel, to pay my internet.
Right. So anything else, it's great, So yeah, the real impetus behind it was just, it's really annoying to find this stuff. You see people ask a lot, like in the Facebook group, when's this thing coming out? Or you'll see people post about date changes and this and that. And I was like, well, there's not really a reference like this, so why not? That's a thing I can do. It's useful.
Yeah. Okay, this is another book of mine that I'm looking forward to. We're going to get to yours in a sec. It's just the way they loaded when I just jammed them all together. I loved this book. This part of Dawn of X with Sassy Mr. Sinister. I'm happy to double dip and get this in an OHC. There's this Hickman's X-Men and maybe one or two others that I totally realize I'm double dipping on. I'm keeping my Dawn of X trades, but I'm also going to get the oversized hardcover, and this is the top of my list. This was my favorite. I also liked Marauders. But this book is top of my list for this year as far as X books go.
Who wrote that one?
Zeb Wells.
Wells. There we go.
Let's see if we can get one of your books in here. Here's one of your books. This is what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, this is the cheater one. So
Cheater
this one? Well, this one and the next one.
Oh, because you're doing two?
Yeah. So this is a two for
Spider-Man and Ultimate X-Men. How's that cheating?
Well, I'm going to count these as one, mostly because I just want to say I'm excited that they're printing more of the Ultimate Universe. So, Omar had talked about, they're like, they're going to reprint Ultimate Spider-Man, buy it, and maybe they'll print more. And they are. And that's
so
exciting.
Volume 2.
Yeah. What I really found surprising was they announced Ultimate X-Men before they announced the Ultimate Spider-Man one, and I really didn't expect that. And that's really cool. I hope they go down, they do Fantastic Four. I hope they do some of the stuff that happens after Ultimatum. I'd love to collect all the stuff from Ultimate Universe, because that's kind of stuff when I got back to reading comic books, like when I was a teenager, Ultimate was like, big. So I've read all of it and I like that stuff. It's not all great though. Ultimate X-Men especially it's a roller coaster.
I heard things about Ultimate Fantastic Four. I haven't read that yet.
That one's probably not the strongest one, but I think they're all kind of fun to read.
Well, let's concentrate on the strongest one then.
Yes.
I've read half of this. I'm up through volume 7, and I'm extremely happy. I'm not getting rid of my hardcovers, that's for sure. It took me forever to find them all at cover price.
Another reason I'm super excited that they're doing those Omnis, man. Like, I don't have to track down those damn hardcovers.
Oh, and these hardcovers for Ultimate Spider-Man, these were whales like back in 2015.
Yeah.
So this is another 7 years of this not being in print generally for people to take advantage of and read. And this is great. This is a complete retelling of Spider-Man. And I've loved everything I've read so far. This is
really
also
fun.
a good place, Dory, or I'm sorry, Doki, Dory, Domi. I don't have my, wait a sec. This is another good place. Dofi. Yeah. Dofi. This is a good place for you to start with with Spider-Man 2. Also.
It is. I think Ultimate Spider-Man that run of Spider-Man is probably one of the best runs of Spider-Man. It's nice. It's one writer the whole way through. It fits Bendis' style. Not everyone loves Bendis. Sometimes he has some misses. But, a character that fits him, he does a good job with it. And this was a fantastic run. Spider-Man's kind of immature. He fits Bendis' voice pretty well. So it's really cool. They kind of take the whole Spider-Man mythos and just kind of condense it down a little, update some things, maybe flip some things around so that they can still keep you surprised. That's what I liked about the run. It's fun to read.
It is a ton of fun. Let's see. Aku agrees with me. Thank you, Aku.
Let's see. Death Rattle was asking.
It will be.
I put it in there.
Should have put it in the description. I'll put it in the description right afterwards. It's comicreleases.com. Here, wait. Let me put it right here in the comments, and it'll be highlighted for you. Comic.
Even better.
Releases. You better spell it right. Comic release. releases.
You said it so many times it's
I
lost
know.
all meaning.
I look at it. And I'm like, wait, that's not how you spell that.
Like I'm
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Comicreleases.com. And there you go. So you can keep up to date on it all the time. Because
and then Death Rattle had a question a little ways up.
a little ways up.
Or after the what's the website question.
Do you know what time it was?
6:41 or 8:41.
Chris Death Rattle.
There we go. So shockingly, not actually that much. The ones that actually take a lot of time are the solicitation pages. Because that's me having to take the PR people at each comic company. They'll send me like a big zip file full of covers and a Word document of all the solicitation text, and I got to go through and make the page. And I put a little extra effort into it so that they're easy to read. They look a little better, because a lot of sites you go to, it's just like they just kind of crap it out on the page. So it takes a little bit of time. Those ones will take me like an hour or two, maybe per company, depending. Like Marvel has a bazillion books every month, so that one takes a while. Although I do have someone that helps me, my buddy Dom. He'll go through and he always gets excited. He wants to do the Marvel solicit, so he'll usually knock that one out, which is great because that one takes the longest.
Oh, good.
But yeah.
I think you've addressed this. Don't you have some kind of Patreon or tip jar?
I do. So I have a Patreon, but also honestly, so you'll notice there's links to various sites on there. One of the ways I don't want to like ruin my site design and stuff with ads, because I don't like ads. I don't want to push ads on people. So I've got a Patreon, and then I have affiliate links. So like if you buy something from OPB or Amazon, or if you're in the EU from Waltz, I get a little bit of that too. And it's one of those things, I was going to put the links there anyway, and I did. Like I've got links there for CGN and IST, Tales of Wonder, for convenience. Because I used to, when I would sit there on IST Tuesday, I'd sit there on my own site and like click links when the books went live so that I was ready to go,
Yeah.
So I'd sit there, it would hit, whatever it is, like 3 p.m. and I'd click all the things that I was going to buy. So I figure it's convenient. Why not? And then a few of them, get affiliate
links. And there's
links.
a link for your favorite YouTube channel on there too. Right on. Thank you, buddy.
Anytime.
Let's see. MN4D says Marvel is like clockwork back in the day with these OHCs. You were guaranteed these Ultimate books to be released in OHC form. There was no guessing involved
until Ultimatum, and then you got what you got.
Or yet,
you kind of have to read it.
Okay,
you're not going to enjoy it.
No, that's what I've heard.
Ultimates 3 and Ultimatum are some of the worst comic books I've ever read.
Oh,
but I will say this: they're terrible, but they kind of wipe the board clean for the Ultimate Universe, and you end up getting some fun stuff because of it.
Okay.
At a certain point in the Ultimate Universe, I think they realized, okay, we're just replaying the greatest hits. Let's do something different. And they did. And there's some really great stuff that came out of that. Especially, I don't want to spoil anything, the stuff that happens with Reed Richards.
That's an Ultimatum?
No, it's after.
Fantastic Four.
Afterward.
After Ultimatum.
Mm-hmm.
What book would that be?
There was a series. What do they call that? I think it was Ultimate. Good Lord. Ultimate Enemy or something?
I haven't even heard
of it. And then that leads into something. Hickman's run on Ultimate Avengers.
Oh, okay.
That's where he really starts doing fun stuff with Reed.
Yeah. That's my favorite Fantastic Four book. Is that a series, rather?
So, well, Hickman does a run of Ultimate Avengers, and he does some very interesting stuff with Reed.
Right. I have that, and I haven't read it yet. I've read Ultimates, but I haven't read Ultimate Avengers, Ultimate Comics Avengers.
Whatever the title is.
Yeah,
They
Ultimate
renamed it like
Comics
15
Avengers.
times.
I haven't read that one. I mean, I haven't read it yet.
It's funny because I didn't really know who that was at the time. And now I look back and I'm like, of course it's Hickman. His stuff was crazy. He did crazy stuff. I really liked what he did with his run of Avengers.
Cool. The Body of Galactus. I won't say.
Oh, and the Galactus trilogy in the Ultimate Universe is really fun too.
That is probably the highlight of comic book. One of the highlights in comic book, my personal comic book history. The Body of Galactus in Fantastic Four by Hickman. I haven't read anything else about it, but when I saw that, I knew I was into something completely boss and different. Here's a question. I think February. Isn't Madman Volume 2 coming out in February? Pretty sure I just saw that.
I know I saw it scrolling through. Wait, did that already come out? Hold up. That just came out this week.
Oh, it's coming out this week? January.
I believe so.
It's not January. It's going to be February.
Oh, wait. It got moved.
It got moved.
Maybe
this is what happened.
What a nightmare. Guess I better check the stuff from this week to double check.
And there's a question about Astonishing X-Men. He seems to have missed it on your site. Is it there and he just overlooked it?
The reprint or restock?
He says, I totally forgot about the Astonishing X-Men Omni reprint.
So there was a reprint in 2020. I don't think we had. There might be a restock.
Well, Crashland is saying, did you check the upcoming restocks section?
There it is, and that's supposed to be coming out in February.
Okay, so Mark, that's
LPB and CBN will put these in their stuff. So it's still, according to both of their sites, coming the 1st of February.
Okay.
So in a few days.
So
that is in. If you look at my site, there's a restocks menu, and then the upcoming restocks page, as someone pointed out in here. That is where all the stuff that's coming that I know about for whatever reason. Okay. Some of it's because Omar announces it. Some of it's because I go on the site and see them. Like CGN and OPB will list things that are about to get restocked, so that's really convenient.
Okay, so that's where stuff would be that's getting restocked. And actually, here's a question that I can answer in person because I still have it. And let's take this off the screen for a second, and I'll show you my first 2 comic books that I still have. Do you remember your first comic book?
Oh, man, I was so young.
Yeah, so was I.
I know it would have been. I know the first one I bought with my own money, and it was terrible.
Even as a kid, you thought it was terrible?
Oh yeah, it was terrible. I mean, at the time, I probably thought it was great because I was.
What was it?
11 or 12. Hold on, let me go look it up again.
Here are my 2. Okay. Let me open the door so you don't get the glass reflection.
Yeah. It was called X-Men Unlimited.
X-Men
Unlimited. The 90s series. Issue number 5.
Huh.
Completely random. I definitely don't think it's good, whatever it was. I'll put a link in the chat. That's the first one I bought. As for what I read when I was a kid, my uncle gave me like a huge box of comic books.
Right.
So I probably read, it would have been X-Men or Spider-Man. Would have been one of the first ones for sure.
Okay, and these were 2 of the first that I got. Can you see those?
Wow. Now the question is, did you get those brand new?
I got them off the rack.
Wow.
But that's not my favorite Batman cover. Here's my favorite Batman cover. Although statues are in the way. If you can see back there, the green, it's the Batman with Batgirl and Catwoman fighting over him. Can you see that?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I'm a little leery of moving this.
Well, what issue number is it? I'll just put a link in the chat.
Oh, 197. Because it's the only appearance of this green suit on the cover. She only wore it a couple times, Catwoman.
So it's Batman 197.
Batman 197, yeah. That is one of my all-time favorite covers.
There you go, guys. Link in the chat.
Thank you.
Want to see that up close and personal. It's weird. It looks like she's wearing Aquaman suit.
Yeah. Yeah, she looks like Mira or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Batman were the first comic books I ever bought. And then I got into Flash and Superman. And I was a DC kid, so it's taken me a long time to catch up to Marvel. And I'm not caught up.
I grew up with mostly Marvel stuff. But fortunately, when I started buying comic books after I got out of high school, had a job and money, I had a friend that worked at a comic book store, so he'd tell me all kinds of good stuff. So like when I started buying, I actually started buying DC right as Infinite Crisis was finishing, and they did this thing called 1 year later, because it all takes place after 52. And so I started a whole bunch of books right there at 1 year later.
That's a good starting point.
It was actually. Like there was a really fun Green Arrow run that happened then, something I probably never would have picked up if my friend hadn't told me to try it. Batman and Detective were going on. I think that's sometime around there was when Paul Dini was doing some of the Batman stuff too.
Ooh. I still have to read that run. It took me forever to get it in paperback form. Or actually,
they put out an Omni.
Mishmash than that. It's paperback, hardcover, hardcover. And I was at that point, I was like, I don't care. I need this run somehow. They all go out of print, and then the omnibus comes out. But
it's inevitable as soon as you put effort into something.
Of course. Let's see. The restock feature, Crashline. That restock notice thing is super useful. I managed to get Last God 100% because of that feature. Thanks for the recommend, Jess.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that.
Nice.
I love watching people that want to read their books go and get their books.
Yeah.
Happy.
Okay, here's a hard question for you from James. I don't even know what this is, so.
I don't think that has been solicited yet. I remember seeing something about all those got canceled at one point, and they were going to be resolicited at some point. And I don't think that they have yet. That's a great question that I don't have an answer for. I think the only person that might be able to actually give you that information is probably Omar.
Here's another question for you. And then we'll get back to books we're looking forward to.
The restock's going to stay. Well, I'll say one thing. DC seems to like to just keep certain things in print. So, I think DC seems at least committed to doing like just random restocks of books, because I've seen it happen lots of times. Like after I overpaid for JSA Omni Volume 2, of course, boop, it pops back into stock a few months later after it'd been out for like 2 years. And I was like, come on.
I remember that.
And then, they keep those Green Lanterns in stock. I think DC has done a decent job of putting stuff back in just randomly. I think the only criticism I would give them is like, guys, tell us you're going to do it. Just so people know, like it sucked for you to go on eBay, pay cover, and then, hey, look, it got restocked randomly. So I think they did a pretty good job about that. And then Marvel seems very committed to doing reprints. So what you'll see with them is they do their printing and it's done. They don't do restocks very often. I have seen that pick up a little with things that sold out like instantly. They seem to be a little more open to the idea of doing a restock or even just a quick reprint, because there's something recently it got a reprint and I'm like, didn't that just come out like a year ago? So it seems like with the rate that everyone's buying things at, it seems like they're a little more open to reprinting, restocking and stuff. So I hope it stays in. I think it's going to depend on when the pandemic finally rolls down. Do people keep buying at this rate? Or are they going to have to claw it back?
Okay.
And then you have the other companies. Dark Horse and Image never reprint anything. They're infuriating. Boom said they weren't going to reprint Power Rangers, and they were being super buttholes about it. And then they did. And then they wouldn't do it for a while. And then they did a Kickstarter where it was way too expensive. I don't know what Boom's doing. But they do seem to kind of reprint stuff. So at least
Boom did, with the Irredeemable Omnibus, sort of stealth either reprint or restock it, because I remember seeing it on Amazon recently.
Hardcover.
Sorry?
I said I wish they'd do that with the hardcover. I have volumes 1, 3, and 5.
Oh, I can't help you there, buddy. 4 became a whale the day after
the Holy
it came
Grail.
out. Yeah. Let's see. What is a book that you are excited about in 2022? Let's see who comes up next. Lobster Johnson. This is you.
This one's really cool, especially because even the trade paperbacks were insanely expensive. And I'm a fan of all the Mignola stuff. I've been reading through it kind of slowly, but I like it. And anything that can get printed in a hardcover from there, I'm totally for it. I'm all about it. And there's a couple more Hellboy things coming out this year too, because there was a couple new stories there.
Did we already have Witchfinder Volume 2? Because I think
yes.
Okay, I thought that sounded.
We have Lady Baltimore. That's coming.
Oh yeah.
There's Hellboy: The Silver Lantern Club, Hellboy: The Bones of Giants. I think they just did Young Hellboy. There's a hardcover for that.
Yeah. But I was thinking of the trades that were sort of offshoots. There's lots.
And then there's that
Abe Sapien, Witchfinder. I can't see that.
And then they're doing a library of the Amazing Screw-On Head, which is some earlier, I think, Mignola stuff.
Witchfinder. Oh, okay, that's what it is. And some of these things that were hard to find, like BPRD Vampire, Sledgehammer 44. Those are trades that were hard to find, and they're coming out in like random collections. So I imagine Rise of the Black Flame probably, hopefully someday, because that's a pricey.
Yeah, trade. Wasn't there a? Jeez. There was a book that had like some random Hellboy universe. That's what it was.
I think that's the one that had Sledgehammer 44 in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Rasputin, Voice of the Dragon, Sledgehammer 44, and The Visitor, How and Why He Stayed. So that's cool. I hope they keep doing some of those universe books.
Yeah,
that's fun too.
These
collect all the odds and ends. Get them into.
I love Lobster Johnson. So fun, and same with Witchfinder. And of course, Abe Sapien is also fun, but Lobster Johnson was just great. And let's see what else. Who's next? Venom. This is Venomnibus or the Venom hardcover?
That's the one. Venomnibus.
Venomnibus.
That one I'm excited about because I've been wanting to read that run. I really like that it includes the events, because now I'm gonna just sell my Absolute Carnage Omni. And just because it's in here, the main event, and I don't really care about the tie-ins that much.
Okay. And what about?
And King in Black is also included, as you can obviously see. The cover is from King in Black.
I know nothing about King in Black because I've just been waiting for it to
Yeah,
get collected. So
I only know what I've seen as I put solicit pages together. I haven't read it all yet.
okay, so Venomnibus, it's the OHCs 1 through 3, and then the main events of King in Black and Absolute Carnage. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yes.
or I mean, to put it simpler, it's the whole Venom run, 1
Okay.
through 35.
Okay. So
And then
it's
yeah, a
okay.
few other rando tie-ins, but yeah, it should collect the whole thing, events included. So I think that's really cool.
Okay. Yeah, and Donnie Cates is badass. I'm going to get this and the King in Black Omni. Okay. Witchfinder Volume 2 is in November, I think. Okay,
Yeah, that one came out. Yep.
Venom Donnie Cates, yeah. Do either of you have a book you really wish was reprinted? I would really love a copy of Ecstatic's Omni, for example.
That would be nice. I got a hold of that luckily, but I have an absurd number of books. But what do you have at the top of your list, Jess?
That I wish was reprinted?
Hey, are we talking Marvel or anything? Because I know what I'd put at the top of my list.
What? Do anything.
Plague of Frogs.
Oh,
Reprint the books, Dark Horse, for the love of God. They go for like triple cover on
Oh.
eBay. Just do it.
Yeah, I'm never selling those. I can only think of books that I want to be made. I can't think of. Fortunately, I'm in a position where I can buy something I really want the day of, and I generally don't postpone anything omnibus or oversized hardcover wise.
Yeah, about the
that
same.
I really want. So
most of the things I don't have are old things.
Right.
Like, I mean, geez, those Fantastic Four Omnis by Hickman, them things were already out of print when I first started getting into Omnis.
Okay.
And that was a while back.
Yeah.
So like that's exciting. But man, we've had like since that poll Omar did last year, like everything pretty much has been announced.
That's awesome. Except for Gwenpool.
Crazy.
That needs to be announced. That's the book I want most.
I can't believe how many things that it's like they just took that and they're like, all right, let's mix them up. But yeah, we'll do all of them. It's fine.
Plague of Frogs is a BPRD book.
Part of the Hellboy universe. The Mignolaverse.
Part of the Hellboy universe. Let's see. Who's
and I see someone called out Sleeper. That's
Sleeper's
a great
book. I just read it, and it does need to be reprinted from DC.
It's a great book. I just went on a huge Brubaker binge.
Yeah.
I managed to get myself a copy of that Sleeper Omnibus, and that was really cool.
It was great. I loved it. Let's see who's next. Oh, you want the Immortal Iron Fist with all the extra stuff in it?
Yes, I'm super excited.
It's got not only the awesome Brubaker Fraction run, but what else?
To be honest, I'm just excited to get that part of the run. I know it's got extra stuff.
Yeah, this has been out of print for a while.
Yeah, that has been out of print forever. So it seems like it didn't really stay in print for very long. So in addition to the regular run, let's see, what did they add? So I think what's Brubaker's last issue? Was it? I don't think he did 1 through 27, did he?
I don't remember. That's one of the first Marvel books I read back in 2014 or 15 or something. So I haven't reread it since then. I loved it, but I haven't reread it, so I couldn't tell you. I had no idea at that point who Brubaker or Fraction was. I just Third Eye Comics just said, "Here, you need this book," and I said, "Okay."
I'm definitely a lot more aware of like writers and stuff now than I used to be. So
yeah,
I'm about the same as you were. But I don't know exactly what's extra, but the contents.
It might be the stuff that came immediately after.
Yeah, and I think like the last few issues weren't Brubaker for the main series, if I'm remembering.
Here's Crashline telling us.
Okay, there we go. So it extends now from 1 to 16 to 1 through 27. So you get whoever else wrote the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then all the Immortal weapons stuff, I think. All of those little things, and all the tie-ins that go with it. So,
okay.
I mean, quite frankly, the most exciting part really is just that they're reprinting the old stuff again. Expanding it is cool though, because at least you get to finish the whole thing.
Yeah, I think it's great.
That's one that Omar announced relatively recently.
What the heck
Black
is
Panther
this?
by Christopher Priest.
Ah, I have the hardcover, so I'm sticking with that. I haven't read them yet, but I have the hardcovers.
Sound just like me. I have this. I haven't read it, but I have it.
I mean, I've devoted all of January to reading Marvel, and I barely scratched the surface. I've read something Marvel every day, and
I've been
I still
reading
haven't gotten to this yet.
I've been reading Sandman.
Oh,
That's
nice.
cool.
That's a good use of your time.
I've never read any. I didn't know anything about it at all. It's kind of fun to go into that thing like completely cold.
Oh, wait. And there's more to it's basically twice the book, he's saying.
Yeah, I think it really honestly is. Yeah.
It is twice the book. Wow, look at that.
It's quite a bit more. Definitely.
Okay, and so this is Black Panther Omnibus. But let's see, I have the 4 OHCs. What do I have?
So Priest had OHCs? I didn't even know that he had.
I apologize. This isn't Priest. I was thinking.
Okay. You're thinking the new one with coats, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What is? I didn't put this in there. So what is this?
This is Christopher Priest.
Okay, this is Christopher Priest. I've read that, and it wasn't for me personally. So, but I'm glad you're excited for this.
I just want to read it. I haven't. If for some reason I don't like it, I can always sell it.
You can always sell it, and that's a bitchin' cover.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Let's see. The next book. That's one of yours. That looks
super excited for this.
Right. And there's 2.
The first volume, I was like, all right, sure. But this stuff is awesome. If you haven't read X Factor Investigations, that run that Peter David did, oh, so great. I love Peter David. He's great. I can't wait to read those Hulk omnis just because they're Peter David.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know anything about him. I literally just bought them because he's the writer. But this stuff is great. I have read a bunch of this X Factor, and I haven't read the whole thing, which is also what makes it exciting, is we're going to probably get the whole thing eventually. He wrote it for a while, too. I think they got a couple hundred issues out of him.
Right.
That guy
this run
is in for long hauls. When he writes something, he writes it. Yeah,
there's like 4 Omnis for Hulk, right?
Yeah. And there could very easily be 4 for X Factor, if not more. If I'm not mistaken. I'll have to go check the number of issues, but it was a pretty sizable run.
Here's a question then for you from Joshua.
I came into it cold, and I'll tell you one thing about comic books that you should always keep in mind when people say you have to read this or you have to read that. You don't really. It doesn't matter. If there's something that confuses you, you can just go look it up on a wiki. And I've done that forever. I think this is the kind of thing. The only thing you might kind of need to know is that House of M happened. That's kind of important. If you haven't read House of M, maybe just read a quick wiki to see what happened. So this kind of takes place, if I recall, right after House of M.
When I read Marvel books, I hit something, I just say, okay, that happened.
Just jump in. Yeah.
And bye.
I'd say a good writer generally puts in enough context clues that you're fine.
Yeah.
You know? And if you're truly confused, you can always look something up in a wiki. Like I've gone perusing through Wikipedia articles just to get a quick rundown. Who the hell is that? You know, you can tell when a character shows up, sometimes it's supposed to be a big deal and you may not understand why. Maybe you go read real quick. Or maybe you just say, screw it. Let's just keep going.
Well, I think that's what got me about Uncanny X-Force is that I didn't know who Apocalypse was. So that's why I'm hesitant.
Really? Wow.
The
You really did not grow up with Marvel.
The first three Marvel books I read. Well, there was a bunch that Third Eye Comics gave me, and New X-Men, Astonishing X-Men, and then Uncanny X-Force. Iron Fist was another. Ultimates was another. And they were just like shoving them at me, and I'm like, okay, because I want.
I'll read it. I'll read it. I'm sorry.
But I read New X-Men and Astonishing X-Men fine, but I got to Uncanny X-Force, and I was like, and I swore to hit a wall, but just assumed everything, okay, that happened. But I wasn't sure what the big deal was about Baby or Junior Apocalypse and what they had been, sent to sanction him. And I don't even know if I knew about Wikipedia at the time. There definitely was internet, but
there's some context that could have been lost there. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my only.
That might be one of those things where if you genuinely, like, if you're that far out of it, yeah, you go, all right, well, who is Apocalypse? You could just go look that up real quick.
Yeah. And that
he's like a real bad dude. Okay.
Yeah. Now I can read it and completely enjoy it more than I did because I have much more knowledge on all those characters. So,
yeah, you'll get into that sometimes where it's like it may not have as much impact. Like you'll still enjoy it, but you get more impact if you've got more history sometimes. But I still think lots of things are still perfectly enjoyable.
Yeah. Is Uncanny X-Force still in stock? I don't know. I don't know. I know it got reprinted. That was a hot whale for a long time. Welcome back, Rose Gray and Reaper XC, who were with me in my earlier video with Kristen. Thank you for showing up again. I appreciate it. Oh, this is a good question, but I'll wait till you're done. Whatever
I'm looking to see if that book's in stock.
Oh, if Uncanny X-Force is in
stock? It's not looking good.
Oh, it's not looking good. How about complete collections or something?
Yeah, or read digitally. Just go get your Marvel Unlimited.
Crazed Cast where he says out of print. I just saw a Brubaker Cap that was getting reprinted.
It's Cap Lives.
Cap Lives.
So the third omnibus in the Brubaker Cap series.
What I just did my Captain America video, and I feel like the last two Trial
and Return of Winter Soldier.
Return were out of print.
I think it's hard sometimes too. It's like it might be out of print, but still somewhat available.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, the job of that video was just to get people to read it, not tell them where to find it. So
you can still get Winter Soldier for undercover. Captain America: Return of the Winter Soldier. You can still find that for undercover. What about the Trial?
I have a bad feeling about the Trial. I feel like I looked for it, and I even saw it on eBay.
That one's a little trickier.
Yeah, that's the one that I think was out of print, like hard.
That one might suck to find. I forget. Is that the fourth or fifth volume?
Fourth one.
Okay. That one's gonna suck. If you don't have that one, I mean, they already printed the first three, so maybe they'll reprint this one.
Oh yeah, I think they definitely will. Okay, so X Factor by you. What's next? The question from me. My choice. The question by Dennis O'Neil. I read it in floppies, then I read it again in the trade paperbacks that I had, and then 1 and 3 became waylettes, and it was hard for people.
Stop you from reading this book over and over again.
Sorry?
I said no one will stop you from reading this book repeatedly.
No. I reread 1 through 6, and then there's a couple. They're not going to. I think Greg Rucka wrote a couple that were great, but they're not going to be in this because this is the Dennis O'Neil run that has been so hard to find.
Isn't Rucka stuff with Renee?
No, this is with Vic Sage.
No, but when Rucka wrote, I thought it was. I think it was Renee.
Yeah. If you go back to 2019 or 18, gosh, the years are ripping by. I think it's 2000.
blurring.
DC announced an omnibus for Y the Last Man, which was already still available in OHC and Absolute. And so I made a video saying, DC, listen, we don't need another format for Y the Last Man. Here are the books we need as omnis. And the question was one of them. Am I taking credit for it? Yeah, I'll take
I
credit
absolutely
for it.
am.
Sure. He watches my channel.
Give it
Sure.
all to me.
Um,
I'm gonna get this. I'm interested in it. I like Denny O'Neil.
yeah, and I feel like this book will age well. I feel like modern readers should like this book as much as I did back in the I can't even remember. I feel like I read it in 1990 or something, but I don't remember when it first came out now. I remember really loving issue 5. That's the one that sticks out in my memory. I can't tell you what happened. I just remember, oh, this was such a great book. Issue 5 was, but I highly recommend this. It's a modern books. Because it's not a bronze.
1987.
1987. Okay. That makes sense because I was living at that point. Right. Okay. I can see the kitchen where I was reading it in I think I came a little bit late to the party in maybe 88 and just got all the back issues, that were cheap. Anyway, my point is, I think that modern readers, and by that I mean now teenagers to in your 20s and 30s, should dig this book because it's a really cool concept about the question, how he gets his face on, the mystery of his training and everything, what he does. He's a reporter by day and then a crime fighter also by day and by night. But it's really exciting, but it's also very kind of Zen written. It's very meditative and contemplative and very interesting. So I just dig this book a lot and I want everyone else to. So I did not pre-order this because I don't want to get it 2 months later. I want to order it and get it and do an overview and review on it as soon as it comes out.
This makes my website easier. I
What's
don't need
that?
to review anything. So this makes my website easier. I don't have to review anything.
Oh yeah, right. Well, my website's easier because all I do is review stuff. So I can't do the stuff you can do. What's the next book? Oh yeah, obviously this is me.
Back to the old folks' home.
You're right. This is not something I recommend to anybody else because the Silver Age. I'm only buying this to support the fact that the Silver Age is coming out. As you can see, that's Batwoman there, Kathy Kane. These are still goofy stories, Batman in space, other weird and wacky stories, Batmite, and there's Batgirl, that's Kathy Kane's niece, Kate Kane, and I'm going to get all the Silver Age ones. This is 1955 through 1957 or something. The sweet spot's going to be 68 through 70 for Batman and Superman for this Silver Age Omnis, right at the end of the Silver Age, beginning of the Bronze Age. And so I just want to make sure that I buy it and that it gets that
Maybe
I buy
if you keep buying them,
other people consider buying it. I can already promise you, somebody like Webhead, not a book for him. Absolutely not. But
I will reach back to the Bronze Age stuff. I'll get a little bit into the 70s.
Well, the Batman that starts so great, of course, is the Dennis O'Neil and Neil Adams stuff, and this is where we can hopefully get the unrestored Neil Adams artwork like I originally read it right off the spinner rack in the drugstore. And you'll see why Neil Adams, when he's grouped together with a bunch of artists, other artists from the 60s, late 60s, mid 60s, why he was so impactful. Just looking at his art now, you're just going, well, okay, he's an artist, but you see him in context in an omnibus like this, you'll see how shocking and amazing it was to see how great his artwork was. It was lifelike compared to everything else. And then, of course, Dennis O'Neil wrote these great stories that went with it, with Ra's al Ghul and Talia and stuff. So this is, I'm the only one excited for this book. I get it. But 5 years from now,
when we're getting volume 5,
when they get to 1968 and I'm in the old folks home, you guys will be excited about this too, because you'll have some historical reference then finally on how important Neil Adams and Dennis O'Neil were to the character. Here's some with you, Jess. Silver Age Batman all day long. Love Silver Age DC. Right on, Joshua. Yeah, Crashline. We just need to ignore them. They're just, bots. I'm not a fan of Silver Age, but the only comic I liked during that era, I think, is the Justice Society. Justice Society was Golden Age. Here we go. Superboy and the Legion of Heroes stuff. That and Supergirl. They're what gave me hope that there were going to be Silver Age, eventually Batman and Superman, because they just put out Supergirl, Boom Boom, and all 3 of the Legion of Superheroes, which I also don't recommend to you, Webhead. That's not something you'd like at all, but I loved them.
I can dabble in the Silver Age for Marvel just because I'm like super into it for some of the characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Silver Age is still pretty rough.
Yeah. Let's see. I feel really good about it. This makes me feel so much better about DC. That so far we've gotten the Spectre and Deadman and now Phantom Stranger. Somebody's paying attention. Those are really great books for DC to release. I'm ecstatic about it. So yeah, I'm ecstatic. And no apologies. I was just letting you know, if you're thinking of the early Justice Society with like Golden Age Flash and Hourman and Mr. Terrific and stuff like that, yeah, that was the Golden Age. And I think they brought back like All Star Super Squadron or something with Power Girl and the JSA in the 70s with the introduction of Power Girl, who came over from Charlton Comics, and they shoved her in.
I'm interested in some of that because I got that Crisis box set that they put out.
Crisis.
Well, it's all of them. So it includes all the Crisis on multiple Earths
and stuff.
What's that?
You mean the first Crises? The very first?
Yeah, like the old when the JLA and the JSA would cross over.
Oh my god, I love those stories.
Yeah, I got that box set because it had all those in there, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then they're total D-bags because they did this, right? You know what? They didn't include that Flash story, and then they put out a separate hardcover just for that. The Flash of Two Worlds.
Flash,
yeah, I was like,
how could you the one that set it all off?
Yeah, I know.
That reintroduced the whole Golden Age into the brother. Well, I love that story. So and this is true, Kofi. You know what you're talking about. Ostrander Suicide Squad. That would be awesome. I agree with this. I want it. I'm not kidding when I say this, and man, I want to be alive by the time they hit that late Silver Age, Bronze Age. I don't want to wait 5 years. I'll wait 3 years. But who knows? Nobody knows. I don't know, but I'm, statistically, These are the things that's like the last thing I want in life is just the Silver Age, Bronze Age Batman and Superman. So yeah, they need to pump them out. This is also me. I'm excited to see this. I have the Justice League first omnibus. I sold all my hardcovers to the Minister of Comics, who doesn't like big omnis, and I don't blame him. They're not for everybody. But I believe this will wrap it up.
Should
I think
include
this
Darkseid War, I believe, too.
Yeah, this should take us through Darkseid War.
This got announced like a few months after I got the Darkseid War omnibus.
Of course.
Like, oh, come on.
Well, they've released this in every shape and form except for anything consistent.
Yep.
This is the first time
they printed an OHC of the first story from this run, and then never did another and put out an omnibus. And I was like, are you guys kidding me right now?
I think they did an absolute of this too, and then they did Darkseid War.
Mm-hmm.
There was an absolute of this, I believe, the first part with the Jim Lee art in it, first few issues. I just had the standard hardcover, so I was okay. But then I started getting itchy about wanting oversized, and when one came out, I had a good feeling that DC was on the ball enough now that they would put two out, and so I am very much interested in this. This is my favorite Justice League run of all time.
It's a great run.
Yeah.
The second half is especially good.
Yeah. Well, I just love the first meeting between Batman and Green Lantern. When Green Lantern, this is the very beginning where they, New 52 is supposed to be brand new and they were not supposed to know each other and stuff, which quickly fell apart. But in the first issue, Batman's like on a dark rooftop and Green Lantern shows up and Green Lantern says, "Batman, you're real?" And Batman says, "And you're too bright. Dim that light," as the cops are after Batman or something. And that was what I really wanted, was a beginning of all the heroes to start to meet each other and how they would meet each other. And I loved that in the very beginning of that book.
That was fun.
Let's see. I actually wanted the omnibus to not include Darkseid War, but include the full Forever Evil event with the tie-ins. I
kind of selfishly wanted that too because I already had the Darkseid War Omni, but I think for everyone else this is better.
Yeah, let me think. I can't remember now what I sold Taylor. I feel like I had the Forever Evil and the Forever Evil tie-ins, but I may have sold them that. And I think I got stuck with 7, 8, and 9, which was the Darkseid War, which I'll have to give away at some point. I'll give away like when I hit 7,000 subscribers or something. I agree with this. I love any form of comics. Just grateful they're giving us completed editions. Absolutely.
Finishing is good.
Yeah, finishing.
I agree with that too.
This part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of grew up that way too because my uncle had given me kind of a random assortment. So it'd be like you'd start getting into a story and then he wouldn't have the next few. And you were like, "Ah!"
Yep. Yeah. And
I remember little like 10-year-old me cursing my uncle, like, "Where are the rest?"
Well, I didn't have any choice because back then in the 60s, as far as I knew, all I had was the spinner rack in the drugstore.
Yeah.
And
they literally
was very spotty.
Like, I remember I listened to a book about this and they ripped the covers off and sent them back and they sat in a warehouse.
Yes, that's how they got credit. Yeah. So it was okay for the most part because they were one and done stories back in the 60s for the most part. But then you get something like, I think it was Action Comics had Superman dying from this kryptonite virus, and it's like 2 or 3 issues connected, and I was like 12 before I went to LA where my brother lived, and he would take me to used bookstores where there would be, boxes of comics. That's how I would complete that run because it was such spotty distribution. I got like the first issue and the third issue, and I'm like, how did we get here? There was a second issue? What happened? And so thank the Lord for
Used bookstores.
comic book stores, yeah, where you can get a full run. Hi, OmniDog, which JLA run do you think is better, New 52 or Rebirth? FC, we are all better off not thinking about Justice League Rebirth. Let's pretend it never happened.
Is that bad, huh?
Oh,
the one that's what's his name?
Steve Orlando.
Oh, JLA. Because there was JLA and a Justice League, I think.
They both suck. They were both awful. And I mean awful to the point where I don't even own them. And I bought everything in Rebirth and hardcover.
Brian Hitch.
Brian Hitch, right.
The regular Justice League.
Not good. Suicide Squad is also not particularly good in Rebirth, but Justice League versus Suicide Squad is actually a really good book. So I wouldn't recommend anybody get Rebirth Suicide Squad or Justice League or JLA, but I would recommend getting Suicide Squad versus Justice League. That was a good book. Brian Hitch's Justice League was a mess. Thank you. I agree with that. Hey, here's Bavarian Rev. So FC, the answer is New 52 all the way, buddy. And let's see, what's the next comic? Oh, that's me.
More Brubaker, baby.
The Ghost in You. You know, I'm wondering if that's a Psychedelic Furs song. And he's got also one called Friend of the Devil, which is a Grateful Dead song. So I'm trying to think, is Destroy All Monsters a rock lyric or a rock song? Because
it's apparently the name of a band.
Destroy All Monsters?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wonder. They sound like they must be like metal or something.
It's a Detroit band from 1973 to 1985.
Destroy All Monsters.
Never heard of it.
Me either, but Crashland, this is funny. Yeah, I love all kinds of music. I saw Psychedelic Furs and Grateful Dead in concert back in the day, back when I was going to concerts. Hey, Jeffy Nat loves that Reckless series. Yeah, this is one of the things that Taylor Brown and I agree on. Well, we agree on a lot, but as soon as these books come in, we stop everything and read them. They are awesomely written. The characters are incredibly compelling, and they're so well written that you care about them deeply. And there's 3 of them so far. This will be the 4th.
I've been waiting because I wanted to read a few of them at once, because I just read, honestly, all of the creator-owned stuff I've read from Brubaker has all been fantastic.
You are correct.
All of it. I read as much as I could get my hands on. So I read through like Kill or Be Killed. I read through all the criminal books, Velvet, Incognito, Sleeper.
Cruel Summer.
All of it's fantastic. Cruel Summer, fantastic. All of them.
Pulp?
Which one?
Pulp?
Not yet. I have that one too. That's also a tiny little hardcover.
That's the important thing. You have it. I know you'll get to it eventually.
I will. So these I was letting them build up, and I know they're going to be great because honestly, everything that guy's put out has been fantastic.
Yeah, and this is no exception. You're yanking my chain. That's so awesome. Oh, I could do a whole show on all the. I saw Kiss in concert for $7 my senior year of high school, and warming up for them. Cheap.
Did you see them before the makeup?
No, they were in full makeup, fire breathing, and this group called Cheap Trick warmed up for him. And
I know
well,
them.
it was the summer before college, so I went to college and was talking to a pretty girl, and she had the Cheap Trick album, and I said, "Cheap Trick has albums?" And she's like, "Oh yeah." And I said, "I just saw him in concert." She said, "You saw him in concert?" So we were like best friends. I just sat down and she played the Cheap Trick albums for me. And then I saw Cheap Trick like 7 more times, which was amazing every time. Yeah, $7. That would be like 100. Yeah. Yeah, $7. And I think that was my first experience solo. I'd seen concerts with my brother in LA. I saw a bunch of people in LA, but this was the first one where I drove with a friend. And we had to stand in line, it was general seating. And so you had to stand in line at the Cow Palace in the Bay Area. And we stood in line, I'm not kidding, 5 or 6 hours. But when you're 18, that's like, nothing. Now I couldn't stand in line for 8 minutes, but
I get mad if I have to wait to order food. Like, you don't have an app?
Like
what year is it?
You wouldn't have liked this line at all. It was like 7 or 8 hours, something. And we watched this guy and a couple people in front of us just start ingesting everything possible that he could. He got high. He snorted coke. He got drunk. He was drinking, snorting coke, getting high. And then, this is before the concert even started, he dropped a tab of acid. And wow. We were like, whoa, what is this world like anyway? We were just little kids then, back at 18. And to see this guy just get hammered, I don't even know if he saw the show. I highly doubt it. He probably slept outside the doors and missed the whole show. I was just blown away. Crazy Gazzery, Jess has been buying all the standard size hardcovers. Usually that's a promise they'll release a deluxe. I'm waiting too. I don't know about deluxes for this series. I don't know what to tell you. I'm getting them. I'm fine with these in the standard things. I think he specifically
said for these that he wants to put them out in this size. Something like, oh, the retailers like them better and all this. And I was
okay. Well, I can't wait for a deluxe. I have to get these, open them up right away, read them. My Heroes Have Always Been Junkies is also named after a song. Now that I didn't know. Who's responsible for that song? That's interesting. Yep. Wait, something from Darkwave Fairy. Here's a good question. Webhead, are you getting Brubaker's Catwoman Omni?
Yes, I am, because it says Brubaker on it.
Wise decision. It is awesome. I'm keeping my trades because 2 was so hard for me to find. So I'm keeping the trades. But I highly recommend
PTSD from finding it, so you'll never let go.
Right, yeah. I highly recommend Brubaker's Catwoman. Highly, highly, highly. And the art is boss. The first one, Darwin Cook, has a bunch of art in, and it is the meeting of 2 superpowers just doing what they do best. It was gorgeous.
That guy did such just cool art.
Oh my gosh.
There's one from
hey Tolga. Sophie? Oh, this one?
Hello, Tolga.
Hey, yeah. Tolga, baby. Just because what got you into comics, and do you think the modern age is as good as how it was?
I think a lot of modern stuff is better in some ways than the old stuff. Like
I agree.
I hear a lot of old guys, they'll complain about decompression and storytelling, but I've gone back and forth between the old stuff and the new stuff. And what I like about modern storytelling being decompressed is you get a lot more like detail. Things are fully fleshed out.
Mm-hmm.
I think a good example is like if you've ever read a what if story, those always feel like super rushed. Like they're just cramming in as much as they can into one issue. And the show, funny enough, felt the same way.
Well, I haven't
In
seen.
contrast that with modern comics, you get a lot more context. There's a lot more going on. Yes, it goes on for way more issues. A story used to be one and done, but I like the decompression. I think it's great.
I'm 100% with you. Spider-Man's Shadow is a what if story if
If they got
Peter
enough time to actually do it
suit.
all. Yeah.
Sorry?
Like if they got enough time to do
Yeah,
it right
good
instead of just one
example
issue.
of Spider-Man's Shadow is if he had kept the symbiote suit, and it's 4 or 5 issues, but it tells a complete story, and you wouldn't have gotten back in the Silver, or maybe not necessarily the Bronze Age either, and it makes it that much better. You're Chris is right; it's fully fleshed out, and you totally get into it. I don't care. I'm a collected editions guy, so I don't care if it's 5 or 6 issues. I'll just buy the book.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay, this is just my opinion. I think we're living in the golden age of comics right now. I mean, Kristen and I were asked who our favorite 5 writers were earlier in the day, and we went on for about 15 minutes naming all the good writers that we liked. We just said, okay, who are all the good writers? And we are blessed right now to have so many good writers and artists. I can go in my collection, and now that I've winnowed it down a lot, but I can go in and just blindfolded pull out a great modern book. I collect Silver Age because I like it, but I can't recommend most of it to anybody. But you're getting books now that are incredibly well written, okay, here's what it is. The mindset of DC in the Silver Age was these are and I read this at the in a history about them. So it's not like an anecdote. It's a real quote from a DC editor in the early 60s. These are books for 8-year-olds to read on the toilet
And then throw away or use as toilet paper.
They were one done. They take you 10 minutes to read and you'd be done. Spider-Man life story. This is could not have been done in the Silver Age. I mean, this is this compresses his life into all of the main events, but this is way more compelling than any single issue could possibly be. So my opinion is right now is the best time ever in comics.
And not just that, the number of sources you have to get stuff is crazy now. I mean, there's people running Kickstarters. There's way more companies putting out comics than there used to be. All this creator-owned stuff or just other companies. You know, you see Kickstarters all the time, and you're like, oh, I'll try that out, you know? Like I got the carbon and silicone thing in Shangri-La, that Kickstarter.
What are the green books there that there's a big stack of?
Oh, my Goon books?
Oh, the Goon Library Edition?
Oh, yeah. Did you notice those?
I am seeing the Goon Library Edition prominently displayed in your background.
I made sure to put it in the middle of the stack, you know.
Not only are those incredibly hard to find, but they are all 100% A+ 5-star books. Each one just gets better than the previous ones. I am a huge fan of the Goon. I love the Goon.
I'm just excited that you can, you know, there's all these communities and stuff where you can get with other comic fans that, and there's because I'm not that great with finding indie books, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been, you know, a Marvel kind of DC guy, and it's really nice. You get around all these other people. They show you all these things you've never heard of. You get to try all this stuff out. Because I read a lot more non-Marvel DC stuff now than I
Yeah.
ever did before.
Right. When I
And
was
there's so
growing up,
much.
Marvel, DC, Gold Key, and Classics Illustrated. So I only had two choices. Yeah.
So the amount of stuff is also really nice. You have so much to choose from. And the other fun thing is when Marvel started pulling indie writers in to come do stuff, like when they got in like Bendis and Quesada back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, that was the start of something that was really cool. I mean, on the one hand, it kind of sucks because they seem to piss half of them off. They come in though. They do really cool stuff. Brubaker comes in and writes Cap for forever, and it's phenomenal. They have Remender come in and do Uncanny X-Force, and it's amazing. They have all these people that come from maybe Image or Dark Horse or some other indie stuff, and they get sent up. They're coming to Marvel to get their name out, and then Marvel gets to have these awesome writers come in and shake things up. And I think that's something that's also really great about modern comics.
Yeah.
That's part of what got me into a lot of the stuff when I started getting back into comics. I was reading those things. Those runs. I didn't know who they were, but it was like, oh, this guy's great. I had no idea what I was getting into. My friend had me start reading the tail end of Bendis Daredevil and then start going into Brubaker, Just so much great stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I'm going to put out a video in a couple days about 5 books I missed, talking about 5 good books I missed in 2021. But they're a perfect example of what you're talking about with like Hickman's East of West. When else would this have gotten printed? And in this format, where no time but now. I mean, the industry is aged perfectly for those of us alive right now.
Saga,
Paper Girls. I mean, Sweet Tooth, Ex Machina, Why the Last Man,
Brubaker stuff,
Fables,
Killer Be Killed, especially. Oh, that book.
Which book?
Killer Be Killed.
Oh yeah, Killer Be Killed's remarkable. I mean, they're dealing with issues that are incredibly real life. Like that one's all about mental illness, and it's amazing.
It's kind of nice to read someone that takes the time to do something a little different.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just so many good things. So many comics being put out. You have such a great selection of stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Who's got any books left here? Oh, that's it. We're done.
Was that it?
We did it. Another book, but whoop! I just lost the whole screen. Just a sec.
Okay, and it's gone.
No, I think that was the last book that we were excited about.
I think so. I think you got them.
Yeah, I got them all.
I mean, I'm excited about lots, but
I feel like the Batman Silver Age Omnibus, that's probably not going to be the final cover, but I'll accept it if it is, because I love having Batwoman Kathy Kane on the cover there. I even have action figures of her, so that's how old I am. Oh, T-Lar Blunt is in the chat. I'm mostly excited about Venomnibus Volume 4, which undoubtedly is coming.
would that would probably be the Remender and right? Agent Venom stuff.
Well, wait, there's 3 Venomnibuses, and then there's Donny Cates' Venomnibus.
Right.
So
I think he means 4, which would be like the Remender stuff.
Yeah, I would guess that it's Remender. But I also think he's joking, because it's late at night and he gets a little loopy when it's late at night.
I do hope that I will say, I really hope that we get that Agent Venom omnibus one of these days. That was a great run.
Agent Venom.
I've read it. So the Remender / who's the other guy? Oh, God, I always forget his name.
Oh, Tyler's throwing a challenge down. Just a sec.
hear me furiously typing away as I go to look up who it is.
I
I'll
went to
remember as soon as
Space
I click on
Venom,
it.
BAF,
Space
Tyler.
Venom.
You get loopy. I'm playing with my Venom right here, buddy. My Space Venom. I love the Space Venom run. I did it. I swear if I do it, what? Oh, you want me to get the Revel Tech one? I can't. It's too complicated.
Cullen Bunn. That's who comes after Remender.
Oh, okay. Okay, don't worry. This is a PG. Don't worry, Cat. This is a PG show. This is Space Venom. Yeah.
I read that run. It wasn't bad.
Yeah. I have a feeling I read it when I was recovering from knee surgery for getting my knee replaced. I also read Black Magic back then, and 2 years later, I definitely had to reread them because I was looped out of my mind from the surgery, thinking everything was great. So I went back and I reread Venom Space Knight, and I really did enjoy it.
Well, that's how people listen to the Grateful Dead, right?
Yeah. Where is that Revel Tech Venom? You want me to go get that, Tyler, and show you how great it is? The one you don't have. Oh, my mic's not even hooked up. I'm talking into my mic. It's not hooked up.
I can hear you.
But I unplugged it because you're hearing an echo from me. I'm talking into my mic like it's lit. Okay, so there were the books that we were most looking forward to. Do you have any questions or things you want to talk about? Oh, Crashline wants to see the Revel Tech. Did you have a robotic knee done? It is fake. I have 2 replacement knees. I would say they're not robotic because I can do less now, but with less pain. So I have less pain, but they're not robot. They're not robot knees. No, I'm sorry about that. I didn't know it was an option. I should have done that. Is there a small child in your house?
Yes, she's apparently playing her recorder.
That's very cute.
Yeah, if you hear that in the background.
That is very cute.
I will say, there's a couple of things getting reprinted, and I have everything because I'm ridiculous. But if you haven't read it, the 52 Omnibus is supposed to come out this year, and that stuff is great.
Agreed.
I really enjoy that run. Also, the original Omni had a bit of a binding problem, so hopefully this one does not. They've been pretty good for the last little while.
Crashline wants to know if that's Stairway to Heaven. Here, I'll play my mouth harp. With it.
You're still doing it into your mic.
Oh yeah, I am. Thinking my mic's picked up.
52 Omnibus will be 125.
175.
Yeah. No, and also though, I guess it doesn't really matter, but it kind of springs out from Infinite Crisis, so probably read that too.
Oh! It was they're put in robotically now. No, mine were done in the dark days of 2006 with a human.
They do a lot of stuff now with robots, though. For real, they could do surgery with robots. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, is it though? I don't.
I mean, some like doctors will specialize in doing surgeries with robotics. So like some of them still do it, without, and some of them specialize in doing it with.
Yeah. Thank you, Montana 211. Just since you never get super chats on this channel, I figured I would because your shows are awesome. Whoa, that is a high compliment. Thank you so much, Montana. Really appreciate that. We actually, FC, we just went over this, but I'm sure
Chris, all of them are.
I'll go
beautiful collection of
Venom while Chris tells you about his goon.
So these are great. They're very expensive usually, and I found a great deal. This is Wonder Woman by George Perez, Volume 3. Those suddenly went out of print, like instantly. Not super fun. Nameless by Grant Morrison. I have no idea what I'm getting into. It's going to be a weird Grant Morrison book, I'm pretty sure. And then the things I talked about earlier, Carbon and Silicon and Shangri-La from Kickstarter. And then this book is a Walt Simonson book that I didn't know existed until a couple weeks ago called Star Slammers. I read his Ragnarok comic, and it's really cool, so I decided, hey, let's buy some more. And that's Squadron Supreme Omnibus.
What's going on here? Here is my Reveltech Venom, Tyler.
Huh. You know what? He's right. They changed the price on the 52 Omni.
It is $175?
That's insane.
Wow.
Wowie.
This is my Reveltech Venom, Tyler. You still there, buddy?
Yep. Good looking out, Marcel.
Wait, how did
updating that right now as we speak?
How did we get to the
seems like an insane price.
Okay, so apparently it's 175, which I think is crazy. For what, 52?
Maybe I saw that and thought it was a mistake price, and that's why I didn't put it. That's also possible.
Shocking to me. That is shocking.
I'm hoping that's a mistake.
I hope so too, because that's a good book, and that's something people should. That's something people would enjoy. But come on, that's practically an eBay price.
Yeah, that's nuts. The original was...
Chris brought up Nameless while you're getting your Venom. Okay, I wondered, how do we get back to Nameless?
Oh, yeah. Right here.
Oh, by Grant Morrison?
Yeah.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah, that's about how I feel. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, instead, spend your 175 on what this guy goes for on eBay now that Tyler forgot to get. I'm going to send him a picture right now because he's ignoring me. Okay, just a sec. Let me text Tyler. This is the height of professionalism, I know. Where is Tyler? There he is.
That's just how we do it here.
I still hear that recorder. That's so awesome.
So now she went into her room with it, and it's playing through the baby monitor.
Oh. Dofi, yes, I have, and I ordered it. Hush Mafex Nightwing is awesome. No, Tyler's not happy now. You son of a...
I don't buy any of that stuff because I can't go down that rabbit hole.
Oh, I know, and it is a rabbit hole.
I got a few pops. You know, I got some Batman ones and Spider-Man ones because they're my favorite, and then I just...
He gifted me. I'm sorry. Did my back hurt your knife? Jennifer Aniston from Friends. I can answer this question because this will be when it comes out. If it comes out, I want Omar to announce a Gwenpool omnibus. I'm not kidding about that. I wish he would let Kristen design the spine. And I'm saying he, like Omar has some say in it. But Kristen has the greatest idea for the cover and the spine for Gwenpool omnibus. And it would still, it would just be so cool. And they're just going to put it out with some dumb spine and a tiny spine and a dumb cover. And her idea is brilliant for it, with a big pink cover with Gwenpool in lettering on big letters on the side, and Gwenpool's mushing around and jumping up all the letters. There's like 7 Gwenpools on the side jumping up the letters. Wait, Gwenpool. Okay, 8 Gwenpools jumping up the letters. And she's got it all perfectly mapped out. Everybody would love that. But no.
My answer is going to be both of those things at the same time. I want to see them reprint the new Avengers Omni, and then continue and finish the whole line in Omnis.
Ah.
So now they're doing Ultimate, right? They're going to get through Ultimate Spider-Man. When they're done with that, New Avengers. Want it.
Tyler, have you seen this? Welcome back.
Is he seething with rage?
Oh, he is. For him, he doesn't get angry very often, but I'm sure he is right now. But he agrees with Dopey that the Mafex line is awesome. And Dopey's right. Mafex is doing really good with DC. Mafex is doing really well with Marvel, too. Hush Nightwing is going to be figure of the year and extremely hard to get after it releases, I think. Interesting opinion. Tyler knows his toys. Go to SSD Toys on Instagram for awesome action figure photography. They are amazing, the pictures he takes. Amazing. Jess should really design it. Well, it's not my design, it's Kristen's design. I rep Kristen. I rep her. I really want a Mutant X Omnibus. I also want an Innocenti Daredevil. That sounds good.
I would like to see Innocenti Daredevil.
I would like to see that also.
Mama.
Oh. And there she goes. Well, she's not in here.
Don't forget 2 Miles Morales Omni reprints rebrands this year as well. Bendis is getting a lot of love lately. Okay, so I've got Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man, and then I have Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Those are, I am really glad for everyone else's sake that they're renaming those, because that is absolutely terrible. Awful naming.
I don't know what I'm supposed to read first from those.
Exactly.
They're two completely different spines, but at least they're not baby-sized letters. They're interesting spines, at least. But
you got to pick them both up, look at the back, and see which one starts with Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, and that's the one you read first.
Ultimate. He was in Ultimate Fallout or something, right?
Yes, the one that says Ultimate Fallout number 4.
Okay.
So whichever one has that, that's the first one. And even though I have them both myself, I'm still not sure which one that is.
Okay. I'm waiting.
Like off the top of my head, no idea.
Waiting for the reprint of Miles and the Ultimates.
Didn't they just do Ultimates like last year?
You
waiting for a restock?
Ultimates
maybe
already sold out again.
Dang, really?
Okay, Tyler Blunt says, I'd like to see a print of an X-Man omnibus. And believe me when I say there are dozens of us who want this. Dozens.
Oh, they're reprinting Ultimates again.
Oh, they are?
That's got to be like the 3rd or 4th printing.
I think so, yeah. Well worth it. I love that book.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Doi.
What month?
July.
Oh, okay.
For now.
Tyler,
let's see if it's changed.
In your
Still July.
Because you're such a good friend of mine, once Gwenpool gets solicited, I will then start the pitchforks and torches for an X-Man omnibus. Just tell me this: who's X-Man? Who is X-Man? Is he a character from some comic book? Who is this person? I think this was printed before I just said what I just said. Jess, will you pick up the Spider-Verse and Spider-Geddon omnibus?
Yes.
I definitely, yeah, I will. I've got the trades of Spider-Geddon.
I was really annoyed they never put out any OHCs for that one. Nothing.
Spider-Verse. What else is? It's an Omni.
So I will say one thing that I'm very, very happy. They're correcting a very stupid mistake. The original Spider-Verse OHC didn't contain Edge of the Spider-Verse.
Right. Which is
That'll be in the Omni.
all off.
Yeah. So I have a stupid trade paperback sitting on my shelf.
Me too. Right next to Spider-Verse.
Right next to the nice Spider-Verse hardcover is a stupid, tiny little trade paperback.
Yeah.
Like you guys really couldn't fit this in here. Really? It was like 4 or 5 issues. Like,
This
come
other
on.
mishmash anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Definitely gonna get that. I loved the Spider-Verse event.
the
I haven't actually
couple of
read Spider-Geddon,
taxis
but
is the first Miles. Is that the black spined one or the
what is it named?
what's it called? Is it called Miles Morales Ultimate Spider-Man or Spider-Man Miles Morales?
It's breaking your brain.
It is, and I can't. I've got too much obstacles in between me to go get it and see if it's the one with the taxes. Which one it is? Oh, all right. Thank you.
Let's see here. I'm gonna look it up in my collection. Okay, the 2 taxis. That one is Miles Morales Ultimate Spider-Man.
Ultimate Spider-Man. Mine just says Miles
Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Black spine one then.
Probably.
Black spine. Okay, that's the one that had all the binding problems, and I still have to fix that. It came completely off.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever had that happen.
I got the newer one, fortunately.
Let's see. Bobby says, sorry for being late to this shindig. Almost didn't recognize Chris since he's not lying on the bed kicking his feet up.
Shut up, Bobby.
No one excited for Way's Venom? Is that getting collected?
Daniel Way's Venom.
I don't know a thing about it.
Honestly. I don't think anyone actually likes that run, to be honest. Hold on. Let's see. Which one was that?
I don't know. I don't think I own that. Do I? I moved all my Venom stuff over.
Is that not in the 3rd Ven Omnibus?
I don't know. I don't own that.
No, it's in the 3rd Ven Omnibus, the one that just came out in November 2020.
And Man 40 agrees with you.
Yeah.
So there it is.
Furiously typing away, he gave us the answer.
Yeah, I have a feeling Reaper XC was being sarcastic. Okay, well, we've been on almost actually past 2 hours, so this has been great. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in. I have a feeling I'm going to get a call from a certain Tyler Blunt right after I sign off. That's the way it goes. But thank you very much to Webhead for being on here, answering so many questions, telling us what you're looking forward to. His site is comicreleases.com. Anything else you'd like to talk about? What else can you tell the people about that to find you, your Discord group, things like that? Or would you
the links are all on the site.
Okay, they're all on the site.
If you want to support me in any way, you can do Patreon or just click links to buy things from OPB and Amazon and Waltz. I'm working on, slowly but surely, I'm working on I guess you'd call it like a watch list function for the site. So you can add the books that you're looking out for to your own little watch list.
Oh.
So that you can just have that one little list instead of having to look through everything every time you want to find something.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yes, so that'll be my first Patreon exclusive feacher. My Patreon's only like $2. So.
I'll sign up for that.
I was like, I would like to have this feature actually. So that's usually what I do. Things I would like.
Yeah,
put them on the site
for Patreon, I think.
Yeah, so I'm working on that. I'm not going at warp speed exactly. I got a little sidetracked, but getting back to it. So I will definitely make a news post when that is happening. And we'll have Jess shout it from the rooftops.
100%. And I heard about this, Nuke, that Shenmue has an anime coming out next week. I'm going to be interested in that. I loved the video games. Haven't played 3 yet. I waited 20 years for it, and I still haven't played it, but I do own it.
It's in the backlog with everything else.
What's that?
In the backlog with everything else.
Jedi Fallen Order, Shenmue 3, Spider-Man, Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Spider-Man game is fantastic.
Xena, I know. I'm trying to Zera or Xena. I forget I got it for Christmas, but I really want to play it. I really want to get Guardians of the Galaxy and play it. I've heard that is fantastic. And then Horizon Zero Dawn sequel, when it comes out, my daughter will be here that morning taking time off of work to play it with me all day.
That'll be fun. Yeah,
we're looking forward to that. So you can find me on OmniDog's Vault on YouTube, OmniDogs_Vault on Instagram. Thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you to people who are watching afterwards. Thank you to my co-host Chris for all the great work he does and for making it easy to put together that collected editions video we do at the end of every month, beginning of every month. Peace and love. Thank you so much. We appreciate everyone. And wait, did you see that DC is issuing a 3-issue trade for Dark Knights of Steel for $6.99? That sounds like a good deal. Are you checking that?
I am.
Okay. I didn't know that was only a 3-issue thing. That's Tom Taylor, right?
Huh. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Well, that sounds great to me, Nuke. I think it sounds really good. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment. We always respond to comments. So peace and love. Thank you very much. We appreciate all of you.